All right, we're going over tier lists again, and then we're going over the tight ends now. I have 10 tight ends for you. Some of these guys might be a little sneaky for you. There's not the best group of tight ends overall collectively, but there could be some sneaky type of tight ends that you may want to understand and get my kind of take on it. Maybe it might get you a little surprise when it comes to your draft if you are in need for a tight end. Let's go right on into our whole overview that we have here. If you look here, we have one in the S tier, one in the A tier. I have 2 tight ends in the B tier, 3 tight ends in the C tier, and 3 tight ends in the D tier. That all adds up to 10 total tight end. Let's go right over into the first guy we have, the sole guy in the S tier, easily Brock Bowers. This guy has been touted as one of the best tight ends in quite a long time. Yeah, he's a little undersized at 6'4", but that's okay. Look at another tight end that was 6'4", rookie last year and did quite well, like a Dalton Kincaid. He's got that type of receptionist in him. Receptionist? Is that even a word? I don't know, but I think he's got that type of reception ability just like Dalton Kincaid has. Let's kind of look a little bit deeper into what he is. Brock Bowers, like I said, a 6'4", 240-pound tight end. Since the year 2000, only 5 tight ends have been the top 10 draft pick, and I think Brock Bowers has a massive chance to make it number 6. He is known by many as Baby Gronk. You know, he's been probably the best tight end in football since he was an absolute freshman. He led his team for the most catches, the most yards, and receiving touchdowns in the past 3 seasons. Bowers is extremely athletic and a freak of nature in the pass game. He possesses soft hands, good ball tracking ability. He needed that tightrope surgery, right, for a high ankle sprain back in 2023, but he made a very quick recovery and able to play in only 26 days later. And that's what I want to talk about, especially when you have a tight end position. They kind of cock-a-doodle anyway, right? But if you do go down with an injury, Brock Bowers has shown he's able to bounce back quite quickly from an injury like a tightrope surgery, right? So Brock Bowers, somebody clearly the number 1 guy. We don't know where he is going to go. Hopefully he goes to the Chargers early on, but I know they really need wide receiver help too. So it's going to be interesting to see where the Chargers go in the first round. I think it could be Brock Bowers. If Brock Bowers doesn't go, maybe the next chance he has to go to maybe the Jets. If not, he's probably going to be free falling towards the end of the first round. So I'm really curious to see where he ends up. Again, all these tight ends is based on situation and where they're going to go. But Brock Bowers is an absolute talent and a freak of nature, and I think he's going to do quite well. Easily my only S tier type of tight end. Let's move it right along here and just look at the entire overview again. Just now you can see that Brock Bowers is right here slotted in at the S tier. We have 1 guy in the A tier we want to talk about, and let's go ahead and go over this guy right now. It's the tight end out of Texas, Ja'Tavion Sanders. This guy is another one of these guys. Really nice. Would have been clearly the number 1 guy if it wasn't for Brock Bowers and his talent level. Another 6'4" tight end, a little undersized from what you like to see. I know I'm more like the 6'5", 6'6" more of tight ends is what you really want, but like I said, 6'4" tight ends has had success in the NFL as recently as last year with Dalton Kincaid. So it can work and it can be very good. But let's go ahead and dive into Sanders just a little bit more. I said it was a 6'4", 243-pound tight end. He has. We have to remember that Ja'Tavion Sanders was a premier recruit out of high school. He started to show his promise in his sophomore season with over 600 receiving yards. Sanders is an extremely athletic tight end that he's going to be a nightmare really against opposing linebackers. He has excellent speed and very good route running ability. Sanders is an excellent open the field blocker, which is going to help him stay on the field more as a rookie. He has outstanding ability to high point the football with great deep speed and agility as a route runner. So he's got a nice little combination there. I like Sanders actually quite a bit. I think if you're going for a rookie, I think you pass on Brock Bowers because you're going to have to use a first round rookie draft pick on Brock Bowers. But I think somebody you can get in the second round is Ja'Tavion Sanders, and he has just as much talent as Brock Bowers. So I like this guy. I hope he ends up with a really good situation. He's able to flourish as a tight end in the NFL. Again, let's go over the overview again just so you guys can get a whole landscape view here. We've got the S tier locked in. We got the A tier locked in. It looks like we have the B tier for just 2 guys. We have the C and the D tier as well. And the 2 guys that I have going on here in the B tier, we're going with the first guy. It's going to be Cade Stover, that tight end out of Ohio State. Another tight end that I do like. Again, he's probably not I would say, the athletic freak as you have somebody like Jatavian Sanders or Brock Bowers, but he can get the job done. I had to put him as number 3 on my list. He showed quite well. Let's look at the tape a little bit more on this guy. Cade Stover's a 6'4", 251-pound tight end. Excellent blocker, right? Very quick for his size. He's very agile. He's able to hurdle defenders in space, you know, explosive enough to get past linebackers, and a reliable pass catcher with soft hands. And the one thing that I really like about him is he's physical after the catch. He catches the football, turns upfield, looks for that contact, and he looks to run over somebody. I like the kind of bruising ability that he brings. Cade Stover could be a good fantasy tight end if get it in the right situation. Again, you never really know what you're going to get with these guys. A lot of the tight ends, they do absolutely nothing. More of a caca-doodoo type of thing in their rookie year, so you don't expect much from that. But I think Cade Stover easily my number 3 here in the B tier. Let's go over the second guy that I have here in the B tier, and that's going to be Ben Sinnott, the tight end out of Kansas State. Another guy who's kind of showed us some of his hands, right? I like to see some of the catching ability that he was able to bring when you watch some of his film. Let's look at the tape a little bit deeper. Okay? He is a 6'4", 245-pound tight end. Good combination of size, strength, and explosion. He can go up and really high point that football. He's going to block multiple defenders if he can. He can get to that next level. Very coordinated hands catcher who can really dig out those low throws. He can get in and out of his cuts to create some good separation. I think he's a better separation guy than Cade Stover is. I think just overall, just the tenacity of Stover, I had to put him ahead of Sinnott. But I like both of these tight ends. Will they either of them be fantasy relevant? Possibly. Again, just depends on their landing situation, but he is the next guy that I have here. Let's look up the landscape one more time here. We got the S tier filled in, the A tier filled in. Now we have our B tier filled in. Now we're going over some of these guys in the C tier. We have 3 guys in the C tier, and these guys can be a little sneaky. And I know these rankings, I've actually seen quite a bit online, and they are all over the place. So the best thing you do is look at the film and figure out what best works for you. Let's go to the C tier. Theo Johnson, the first guy in the C tier that I want to talk about, out of Penn State. One of the bigger tight ends, probably the biggest tight end we've talked about so far. Everybody else is around that 6'4" range. Theo Johnson, 6'6", so a little bit prototypical, more of a tight end. Let's look a little bit closer. Like I said, he was a 6'6" tight end, 264 pounds, very reliable hands with a willingness to make catches in traffic. Aggression, run, and catch ability. Very, very aggression when he does that. Johnson, he really likes to, he's almost like a wide receiver, right? With exceptional quickness. He, you know, body control, has explosiveness off the line of scrimmage. He's got good, nice, soft hands. He likes to have good concentration. He doesn't turn up the field too often or too quickly. He makes sure he secures the catch. I do like what Theo Johnson can give you. I do like him as a tight end prospect. And if some of those top guys are off the field, I wouldn't be mad at you if you're taking a flyer on Theo Johnson, somebody that could possibly make a name for himself just based off the way the guy absolutely runs. At 6'6", running like a wide receiver out there, you can't really go wrong with that. Let's look at the next guy in the C tier here. I'm gonna go Jared Wiley, that tight end out of TCU. This is another guy that I like. He's been rising on my board actually quite a bit. He can even probably go into the B tier by the time the NFL draft creeps up. The more and more I watch this guy, the more and more I absolutely love what he brings to the table. Look at him a little bit forward. Wiley is a 6'7" tight end, 260 pounds. Great second level blocker, which is going to help him get on the field, quite a bit. Loves blocking for the running back. Natural playmaker, right, with the ball in his hands. A good route running ability, which keeps defenders really guessing where he's going to move. Good strength with ability to run through arm tackles. Can easily find those soft spots in zone coverage. Big body guy. He likes to jock for position for those 50-50 balls, and a lot of times he comes down with the catch. Again, 6'7". He's got the size that you want. He's got the tenacity that you want. And I'm liking his soft hands. He was making some catches, and I'm like, man, that might be a decent tight end. I'm not sure why he's not getting more love than what he is. But on the Bayou Bengal Fantasy Network, I'm putting my stamp of approval on Jared Wiley. I think he could be a nice tight end for fantasy football. I don't think anybody's out there saying this right now, but I'm telling you guys, I want you guys to come back into the comments about mid-season. Once you guys see Jared Wiley tearing it up and be like, Bayou Bengal, you were right about Jared Wiley. Thank you for giving me that steal of the draft. Jared Wiley could be that guy. Let's go into the last guy that we have here in the C tier. We're talking about Brevin Spanford, the tight end out of Minnesota. Another one of those big body type of tight ends. He's a 6'7" tight end. It was making a lot of plays in college football. I liked what I've seen from this guy. Let's dive a little bit deeper. Like I said, 6'7", 270 pounds, natural catching ability, right? Consistently making clean catches, good strength as I see him breaking arm tackles play after play. He's got nice contested catch ability. He can really use his size to high point the football. And he's got great hands at the line of scrimmage to use his punches to get off that defensive end or the outside linebacker, get a nice clean release, and able to find the open spot in the defense. Brevin Spanford is a tight end that I do like. He is nice on my board. Again, yes, C tier, but just because these guys aren't very highly touted, but they could make a name for themselves in the NFL if given the right opportunity. Let's go ahead and throw up the landscape for you guys again. The S tier's filled out. We have the A tier filled out. We now have the 2 Bs in there, and we have all 3 of the C tight ends kicked in here, and all we have left here is the D tier. And the first guy we're talking about in the D tier is gonna be Dallin Hooker, that tight end out of Colorado State. Somebody I did have into my C tier. I ended up dropping him down to my D tier. Again, I do like some of the things that I'm seeing from Hooker. Let's just look at a little bit of his situation. 6'5" tight end, 235 pounds, very good catch radius, excellent receiving skills, right? With reliable hands. And I want to underline that, right? Excellent receiving skills with reliable hands. I like that. Good route runner. Great separation from defenders. He's been a very effective, right, in the red zone, right? He's decent in both passing and run blocking situations. Good all-around tight end, right? It's just, when I say he's an excellent receiver, right, he's very reliable, right? Third down, whatever, if you need to catch, it's great. But he's not making those plays that make you go, dang, this dude is a highly drafted type of guy. He's just a good tight end. That's all I have to say. Nothing like really special. So I just dropped him down a tier because he just didn't do anything on the film to really stand out to me saying, hey, we need to go draft this guy. If I'm recommending you guys to draft someone, that means they stood out to me on tape, and that means they may have a good chance in the NFL to do something, right? I like to call these guys. You know, I like to go ahead and put my stamp of approval on some of these guys. And most of the time, as you guys already know, if you've been here on the channel long enough, I've got a pretty good success rate on these guys. Let's go ahead and go over to the next guy in the D tier. We're talking about Jaheim Bell out of Florida State. A lot of guys have Bell a lot higher than this, right? They have him maybe even as their 3rd tight end. I just don't like the size of Jaheim Bell, right? He's a smaller wide receiver type of build. I don't think he's going to be playing much on the line of scrimmage. Probably more of a slot role type of tight end, wide receiver, hybrid type of guy. He can make some plays, right? I'm just thinking as a tight end, I just don't think he's going to find the success that he thinks or many other people may think that he may get. Look at his film just a little bit here. 6'3", 239 pounds. Great open field speed, right? Can outrun linebackers. You better be able to at 6'3". Exceptional agility for a tight end, right? Yards after the catch, threat, impressive ball tracking, and can come down with those difficult catches. Again, my biggest problem with Bell is his size and his physicality at the line of scrimmage. Will he be able to run block, pass block, be able to get off of some of these guys and get clean releases? We don't know. Yes, he can outrun anyone, but again, he's going to have to be lined up in a slot to be able to be some type of reliable tight end for you for fantasy football. I'm not worried about these guys and what they're going to do in the NFL. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the best fantasy football prospects, and that's why I have Jaheim Bell in the D tier. Let's go over the last guy, number 10 here for us. The last guy in the D tier. We're talking about Trey Knox, that tight end out of South Carolina. Now, I do like Trey Knox. I almost have him as the number 8 guy at the very top of this D tier. Very close for me. He's done a lot of good things in my eyes. I like his film and what he's been able to put out and what I can see. Let's dive a little bit deeper here. We're talking about Knox, 6'5", 252-pound tight end. Accelerates very quickly. He possesses good straight line speed, solid ball tracking skills, nice body control. He's got strong hands, extremely competitive. I love to see his competitiveness. He's successful at high pointing balls. He was a national high jump champion in high school. So you know that he can get up there and he can get after it. I do like Knox. He could be a dark horse type of sleeper in this draft. Again, I hope he goes to a situation where he's able to thrive and don't have too many tight ends or an established tight end. If he ends up going to somebody like a Chiefs or something like that with a tight end that's about to retire, I could put some more investment into Knox. He's got that type of ability. Guys, let's go ahead and throw up the entire landscape now so you can see here that the S tier, the A tier, the B tier, the C tier, and the D tier all filled out for you. That's my top 5 tight ends for this rookie class as of right now. This is pre-draft, mind you. Post-draft, things could change based on landing spots and situations. So guys, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. We're really close to 800 subscribers. And hit the like button. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about my tiers? Would you have anybody in different tiers based on either my analysis, or what are you guys thinking? I want to know what you guys' thoughts are. Again, I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.